Have you ever noticed how everything from groceries to gas seems to cost more every year? Around the world, prices are climbing faster than ever, and it's not just about supply or demand. From global conflicts to energy shortages, from changing consumer habits to rising wages, multiple forces are pushing costs upward. Today, we're breaking down why prices keep rising worldwide and what it really means for your wallet. Today, we will talk about why prices keep rising around the world. So, before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. Understanding global inflation. A broad overview. The rise in prices, commonly referred to as inflation, is a phenomenon that affects every economy, regardless of size or development. Inflation occurs when the overall price level of goods and services in an economy increases over time, reducing the purchasing power of money. Over the last decade, many countries have experienced varying levels of inflation, but in recent years, the rate of price increases has accelerated globally. Several interlinked factors contribute to this trend, ranging from supply chain disruptions and rising energy costs to geopolitical tensions and labor market shifts. Understanding why prices keep rising requires a deep look into both macroeconomic forces and localized challenges affecting individual nations. 2. Supply chain disruptions and logistics challenges. One of the most significant contributors to rising prices worldwide is the disruption in global supply chains. The COVID-19 pandemic highlighted how fragile supply chains are, with lockdowns, port closures, and labor shortages leading to significant delays in production and distribution. Even as economies have reopened, ongoing issues such as container shortages, rising freight costs, and transportation bottlenecks continue to drive prices upward. When essential goods like electronics, machinery, or food take longer and cost more to reach consumers, companies often pass these costs on to customers. Moreover, natural disasters such as floods, wildfires, and hurricanes further disrupt production and shipping networks, exacerbating global price hikes. 3. Rising energy costs and their ripple effects. Energy prices play a critical role in shaping the cost of living. Oil, gas, and electricity prices directly influence production costs, transportation, and even heating and cooling expenses. Over the past few years, global energy markets have experienced extreme volatility due to geopolitical tensions, including conflicts in major oil-producing regions, sanctions, and trade restrictions. For instance, disruptions in natural gas supplies in Europe have led to soaring heating costs, while oil price spikes have increased transportation and manufacturing expenses worldwide. Higher energy costs tend to create a cascading effect, increasing the prices of nearly all goods and services, from food production to shipping and even digital services. 4. Labor market pressures and wage growth. Labor costs are another key factor behind rising prices. In many economies, labor shortages have emerged due to demographic shifts, migration patterns, and changing workforce preferences. With fewer workers available, companies are often forced to increase wages to attract talent, especially in sectors like healthcare, logistics, and technology. While higher wages benefit workers, they also increase production costs for businesses. Many businesses, facing rising labor expenses, pass these costs on to consumers through higher prices. This phenomenon, known as wage push inflation, has been particularly evident in countries experiencing strong economic recovery after the pandemic. 5. Geopolitical instability and trade barriers. Geopolitical tensions, wars, and trade restrictions significantly impact global prices. When countries impose sanctions or restrict imports and exports, the supply of essential goods becomes limited, leading to higher prices. For example, conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East have affected grain, energy, and metal markets, causing shortages and price surges worldwide. Similarly, trade disputes between major economies, such as the US and China, have led to tariffs and export restrictions that increase costs for manufacturers and consumers. Political instability in key regions often disrupts global markets, making the supply of basic commodities unpredictable and expensive. 6. Monetary policy and central bank actions. Central banks play a pivotal role in managing inflation through interest rates and monetary supply. When central banks inject more money into the economy or maintain low interest rates for extended periods, it can increase consumer spending and borrowing. While these measures aim to stimulate growth, they can also drive up demand faster than supply, leading to higher prices. The aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic saw many central banks adopt expansive monetary policies, resulting in increased money circulation in economies already struggling with supply chain constraints. This combination of high demand and limited supply contributes significantly to persistent global inflationary pressures. 7. Climate change and its economic impacts. Climate change is increasingly influencing global price trends. Extreme weather events such as droughts, floods, hurricanes, and wildfires damage crops, reduce agricultural output, and disrupt supply chains, all of which contribute to rising food prices. For instance, countries heavily dependent on agriculture face significant price volatility during poor harvest seasons caused by climate-related factors. Moreover, the shift toward green energy and sustainable production methods, while necessary for long-term environmental goals, has introduced new costs in energy infrastructure, manufacturing, and transportation, which often get reflected in consumer prices. 8. Consumer behavior, speculation, and future outlook. Finally, global price increases are also driven by changing consumer behaviors and market speculation. When people expect prices to rise, they often purchase goods in advance, creating higher demand and pushing prices further upward. Commodity markets, including oil, metals, and agricultural products, are highly sensitive to speculation, where traders' expectations can drive short-term price spikes. Looking forward, experts predict that global inflation will continue to fluctuate based on how governments, central banks, and international organizations manage supply, demand, and geopolitical challenges. While some price increases may stabilize as supply chains recover and energy markets stabilize, long-term structural changes such as climate adaptation, demographic shifts, and evolving global trade patterns suggest that rising prices may remain a persistent reality worldwide. The rising prices we observe globally are not the result of a single factor, but a complex interplay of supply chain issues, energy costs, labor dynamics, geopolitical instability, monetary policy, climate change, and market behaviors. Understanding these drivers helps individuals, businesses, and policymakers navigate inflationary pressures more effectively. While some measures can mitigate the impact, rising prices are likely to remain a central economic challenge in the foreseeable future, affecting everything from groceries and housing to healthcare and transportation. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up. Leave a comment and click the button to subscribe.